think a lot of SaaS founders are probably sitting there thinking, okay, well, like I would love to be able to know for sure that this kind of customer is still going to be around, a year later, 2 years later. If I had a better way of identifying them, that's a concrete tactical thing that I could do that is going to aid with retention. Just being able to find the best customers in the first place. Is there anything else, like any other specific tactics that you use for reducing churn at Agent Methods?
Yeah, I mean, the customer criteria thing is really tough, right? Because I got there after years of data. And so we didn't start there. And most of us that bootstrap start kind of in the low end of the market. So it's, if you're bootstrapping a software business, you're not going enterprise. You're going small sales first. And that's, what we found is like those really small, unstable businesses are bad businesses. And that's an obvious thing. But you have to do enough of that to get the data to recognize what it is that makes them bad. And so it's tough. It's tough to tell somebody who's, brand new starting out, my story, because I didn't wake up knowing this. It took a long time to figure it out. But then retention beyond that. So keeping customers long term. I think that's a never ending struggle. Like every single cancellation is like a stab in my heart. I probably should like not even see them. I have to look, and it's always like a bit of me dies. We're trying to take a really open mind about that and look at every customer, and if we can get some feedback. It's really hard to get feedback from canceled customers because by the time they're canceled, they're done.
Yeah.
But we do look at the success factors we see customers that are succeeding in our platform are hitting. And so we track usage, we track their activities. And we've built a dashboard in our system that shows us customers that are not doing those things. And so we look at it as a list of kind of potentially at-risk customers. So we have a list of customers that we see they're not hitting all of the criteria that we think they need to hit to be really successful on our platform. And it's kind of by hell or high water, how can we get them to go and change their behavior? Sometimes they don't need to. Sometimes we talk to them and they're like, yeah, that thing that you're tracking, I don't care about that, but I love everything else.
Okay.
And sometimes they're okay. But sometimes they need something.
Yeah.
And if we can get to them before they think about canceling, if we can be proactive instead of reactive, we can help them get that value. And so that's become a really big focus for us is like being proactive, before churn, to go and find customers that need help.
Do you know how long it takes, just out of curiosity, do you know how long it takes between when you start seeing some warning signs and when they actually cancel? Like what's the lead time on that? Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months out? Is it a few weeks?
I don't know. I don't know. And it's probably like buying things, like canceling things is probably a different journey for every industry. Like there's a canceler's journey.
I had a mentor who used to say it's almost like breaking up with someone. Like you mentally check out long before you actually get around to having the conversation. And then afterwards, if they said, oh, well, what did I do wrong? You don't really want to have to go and revisit that. You've sort of already
Right.
kind of moved on from there. So I understand why it's hard to get them to come back at the point where they've already decided to, they decided to cancel long before they actually hit the cancel button. Are there any other tactics that you use to reduce churn?
I'm not sure what they are. We're trying everything we can. I mean, client retention is the most important metric. I think it's like the number one most important thing. And I want it to be zero. It will never be zero. But we have to as SaaS founders keep asking ourselves this question of how can we deliver more value to our customers? How can we make our product better and improve their lives and their businesses and their results? And for us, that's a never-ending quest. That's how can we go and dig deeper and make it more and more of a no-brainer?